So it's been a while. I said I was going to do a Q&A like 3 weeks ago or something. I've had some pretty crazy things happen in my life. We're buying and selling our house. I had another gallbladder attack. Doctors finally convinced me to get that sucker out, so I went under the knife a couple weeks ago. Feeling much better. If you guys are having trouble with gallstones, and it can happen for a number of reasons. It doesn't mean that you're out of shape or overweight. A lot of it's just in your genes. If you've got gallstones and they're giving you pain, go get that sucker taken out, man. I feel like a champ. Just 2 weeks later, it's completely, I'm not in pain anymore. It's awesome. But anyway, I figured I would finally get to your questions, and I just want to say real quick, and I'm going to park so I'm not endangering the lives of others staring at my phone, and you'll probably be able to hear me a little bit better because my truck is so loud. I should probably use my wife's Jeep for this stuff. She loves driving my truck anyway. But I just want to say thank you to you guys. It is so rare to have a nice, courteous, respectful comment section on YouTube. When people ask, like, hey guys, you know, give me some questions down in the comments for a Q&A, there's always inappropriate questions. I didn't have a single one that I saw, and that is so rare, man. You guys are awesome. I always say that I have the best chat on Twitch, and I've got one of the best comment sections on YouTube, so I just wanted to say thank you. So let me go find a parking spot, and I'll start answering some of your questions. All right, first question from Spider's Owl, one of my loyal Twitch viewers. LP, if you had one album to listen to for the rest of your life, what would it be? That is nearly an impossible question to answer, I think. But I feel like most people would expect me to say And Justice for All, or maybe the Black Album, or maybe some Pantera or AC/DC. To be honest, if I had one, this might surprise some of you, but if I had one album to listen to for the rest of my life, I don't know if I'd want it to be like somber or even negative vibes. Like, I'm not really impacted by music. I'm not one of those guys who gets sad about stuff when he listens to a sad song, or gets angry when he listens to an angry song. But I do think if you were to listen to like negative stuff every single day, I do think it would have some kind of an impact on how you feel, don't you think? I don't think I would want to listen to that stuff every day. I mean, it's my favorite music. You know, Metallica is probably my favorite band of all time, but I would actually probably listen to, I'm a Christian, I would probably listen to a Christian rock artist, like maybe Red or Phineas. I feel like that would just, I'd get my metal music, my rock music there, but I'd also have an uplifting message, make you feel good type thing. I don't know. I'm sure people are like, what? You wouldn't take Metallica as your album, one of theirs? Maybe, but I don't know. That's a really difficult question to answer. Next question. I can't find it. I know somebody asked me. I'm on my phone, and sometimes phones doesn't show all the comments. Somebody asked me if I played any sports. I played basketball pretty much my entire life. I think I started dribbling a basketball when I was like 2 or 3 years old. And I started playing organized basketball by the time I was 4 or 5. I'm 6'6". I would say my playing weight was about 240, 250, maybe a little bit lighter in high school because I had no muscle on my body. But I played middle school, high school, was all state, all conference. Was all conference my sophomore and junior year, and all state my senior year, and all conference my senior, whatever. And I got recruited by some pretty big schools, some D1 schools, but I was a really nice kid. You know, I'm just like I am now. I'm just nice with everybody. But I had a bad temper when I was in high school, and not like a violent temper, but like when I played basketball, I was so competitive that I would just get pissed off. And if a ref made a bad call, I'd scream at him, or I'd kick over a chair. I almost pulled some Bobby Knight taking a chair and whipping it across the court. So I actually had one of the recruits tell me, son, you're an incredibly talented player, but we don't want nothing to do with your attitude. And that was kind of a wake-up call for me. So I ended up going to a small college, played basketball there, won a national championship there. I played 3 years, and then, to be honest, I just ran out of money. I was only going to school for basketball, and I didn't want to add another $15,000 of debt, so I didn't go back for my senior year. Sometimes I wish I would have, but whatever. I ended up tearing my ACL, getting ACL surgery in 2010, and I still play now. I can still dunk. I can still run up and down the floor. I feel like I'm still pretty good. I just don't play as much as I used to. But yeah, basketball is my thing. I know 6'6", 270, you'd think, oh, you must have played football. I love watching football, but I never really gotten into playing it. Probably because the little time that I did play it in like middle school, the practices were so long and so annoying and so boring I just didn't want to play anymore. But yeah, I'm a basketball player at heart for sure. Every time I close this app, the comments go back to the top, and I gotta scroll all the way through again. Blake Peace asks, how did you meet your wife and where? I actually met my wife in college. We always joke around, even though it's true. We hated each other when we first met each other. I noticed her, even though I knew she had nice cans, she just looked like a snotty, bratty daddy's girl. And she hated me because I like to do burnouts in the college parking lot in my buddy's Trans Am. And I was on the basketball team, and I drank beer. And at a Christian college, that means you're the devil. So, but we ended up having a class together my sophomore year or my junior year. I don't remember. I think it was my sophomore year. And we just started talking. I decided she was actually kind of cool. And I asked her on a date. She said no. And then about 20 minutes later, she changed her mind and said yes. And then we went on a few dates, and she said, oh, by the way, in a couple months, I'm moving back to California, because she's from California. I was like, oh, sweet. Well, this was fun. We dated long distance for like, I don't know, a month. And I was like, okay, this is stupid. I'm just going to fly to California and get you. Her dad wasn't very happy about it, but I took her back home to Michigan and got engaged, got married. 7 years. Been fun. The Lone Wanderer asks, LP, what's your favorite gun of all time, or one that you own at least? I'll take that as like, what's my favorite shooter? Usually, when I'm out and about, I carry my Shield 9mm. It's nice and clear. I don't know if you can see that because I have no preview. It's a super small pistol. LP, why do you carry guns? You must be a murderer. If you are not educated on firearms or why people carry to defend themselves, don't speak. Shh. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody can have their opinion. We all have different opinions. It's okay as long as you're respectful with your opinion. But this is my Shield. This thing is super cheap. I only bought it for $375 at a local gun shop. And this is pretty much what I carry everywhere. It's an 8+1 with the extended mag. This one's a 7+1. And as you can see, it's super small. I'm just wearing a t-shirt today. I conceal it just fine. Would I call it my favorite shooter? Probably not. I would say my favorite shooter is probably my 1911, the SR 1911. I got that brand new at a gun shop at a gun show for $600. And the trigger on that thing, my gosh, is it good. I would say that's probably my favorite shooter. There's just something about pulling the trigger on a 1911. Again, I hope that every bullet that ever leaves one of my rounds is either at a deer, but about all my pistols, I hope that it's always at paper targets or 2-liter bottles or some random fruit. But yeah, I would say my favorite shooter is probably my 1911, and my EDC, my everyday carries that Shield. Although I do carry the 1911 from time to time. Eli 510 Young says, how do you feel about Jaeger, Mike? Jaeger? And also, how do you feel about any other liquors like vodka or whiskey? Well, there's more. What have been your experiences with them in different categories of liquor, and any crazy, funny, or bad stories with any of them? I mean, I love beer. I love whiskey. Bourbon whiskeys. I love all that stuff. Jaeger, I drank that when I was in college. I used to take Jaeger bombs just to kind of just get you started for the night. I was never really a big partier. I didn't really get drunk. There's probably been less than 5 times in my entire life that I've been categorized as drunk. The first thing I ever got really drunk sick on was Goldschlager. If you guys don't know what Goldschlager is, stay the F away from Goldschlager. Good Lord, man. That stuff is diabolical. But Jaeger, I mean, it tastes like cough syrup. It's really not that good. I mean, I guess if there's some Red Bull and somebody says, hey man, take a shot of, take this Jaeger bomb, you're like, okay, sweet. But I'm more of a sip on whiskey, neat. Ice is okay, on the rocks is okay, but I'm more of a neat drinker, and a nice cigar. And that'd be said all day. Chris Rivera says, LP, you sound like Joe from Family Guy. I don't sound like Joe from Family Guy. Mr. Tacos, one of my moderators on Twitch, said, what's your favorite movie? I don't know if I could say I have a favorite movie. I'd say right now one of my favorite things to watch is the Transformers series. I know they're stupid and they're over the top, and Michael Bay is Michael Bay, but I'm a sucker for cheesy one-liners and giant explosions and amazing music and, motivational music and all that stuff. I love the Transformers series. And I think Mark Wahlberg actually did a pretty good job, even though I love Shia LaBeouf, man. He's a crazy SOB, that guy is. Andres Guerrero says, Dear LP, what was your first car and what's your dream car? I tell everybody that my first car was a 1985 IROC Z Camaro that I bought from my brother, and that I completely stripped down by myself, did all the body work myself, all the filler myself, pounding out the doors and the dents and cutting out rust and replacing panels. I did it all myself. It was the first time I'd ever done that. I ended up getting the car painted and then sold it to have money for college. And the kid wrapped it around a tree or a pole within 2 weeks. I saw it sitting in a junkyard. I was absolutely heartbroken. But my first car was actually, I had it for about 10 days, was a 1989 Ford Escort GT 5-speed. About 10 days in, the motor seized. I paid $400 for it. I was also devastated. I had a hard time pushing the clutch in because my knee always hit the dashboard, because it's a really tiny car. But my dream car, I'm a Camaro sucker. I would really love an early 70s Camaro, but I'd like it resto modded with all updated interior and updated radio and sound system and a nice big beefy 600-700 horsepower big block under the hood. With some nice, big fatty slicks in the back or something like that. I have that 79 Z28 right now. I got the motor built for it, but again, you guys know that story. I got screwed by the mechanic. I can't trust the engine. I got to get the whole thing gone through again. I'll probably do that in the spring. Right now, it's obviously on hold with all the stuff that I'm dealing with, but maybe I can make that one into a fun. I love the late 70s, but I like the early 70s a lot better. Austin Witkowski says, what is your opinion on marijuana? I've never smoked or had any kind of interactions with weed really my whole life. I've never done a legal drug in my whole life. Most of it ever has like aspirin. Or I had Oxy when I had my surgery, which was good stuff. But I've just never indulged. It smells like a skunk's butthole to me. That's probably why I never tried it. Michigan's probably going to be one of the next states that makes it legal. And if it goes legal, I'll probably try it. I don't know if I'll smoke it because it just smells. It smells like a skunk took a pine cone and rubbed it on his beehole and then put the pine cone in your nose. And he sprayed it. That's what it smells like to me. But I think if it goes legal, I'd try it. I think if you're going to let people drink alcohol, you should probably let people smoke weed, especially with all the medicinal benefits of it. I'm not an expert. I don't really know much about it, but just from what I've gathered, what I seem to know, if you're going to let people drink beer, you should probably let them smoke weed. But I guess I'm not educated enough on the subject to really say what should or should not be. But yeah, if it goes legal, I'll probably try it. Glim Jam asked, at night, do you pee on the side of the toilet bowl to keep it quieter? I do. Well, usually my eyes are closed, but I've gotten, you put your hand up on the wall, you just kind of lean forward, and I've gotten the right angle that every time it hits the side of the bowl. I've got that perfected, man. When you've got a wife and a kid sleeping, you pee on the side of the bowl. I guess I'll finish it up with Swifty Fence. He said, what does your immediate and or extended family think of the way you make money on YouTube and Twitch? Whether you guys want to think that doing YouTube or Twitch is a job or not, it's 2015. You really can do this as a job. I don't think you should start out to make it be your job. I mean, first of all, for YouTube, I make maybe $35 a month. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. I don't really care. I don't do YouTube for money. I don't know how many times I've got to say that. I don't do Twitch for money. I streamed on Twitch for the longest time without making anything on there. If they told me tomorrow that I couldn't make money on there anymore, I would still stream. It's just a really fun hobby for me, being a stay-at-home dad. It just gives me something to do. I really enjoy it. Answering your question, it is pretty weird, man. My family doesn't really, they know what I do, but they don't really know. They don't know what my channel is. They don't know anything like that. They know that I run like if somebody asks me, what do you do for a living? I don't say, well, I play video games. There's nothing wrong with that, but then you just get all those other questions after that. So I say, well, I run an online business. I'm a producer of I'm a content producer on the internet is usually what I say. And that usually they're either too confused by that or whatever, and they just move on. But they think it's great. They think it's great that I can be a stay-at-home dad and do something that I really enjoy. And I think that's really all that matters. You know, I've had people tell me, you're a loser, man. You're 30 years old and you played, well, first of all, I just turned 30, you jackass. But they say you're 30 years old and, or most of the time it's you're 40 years old and you play video games on the internet. I think if you're doing something that you enjoy, you need to look that person right in the eyes and say, hey man, kiss my ass. I don't give a rat's ass what you have to say. And I think that goes for anything in life. If you're doing something that you enjoy, if somebody tries to look down on you, tell them to kiss your ass, man. I love doing Twitch, you know, and obviously I have a subscription based over there where people can sub to the channel for $4.99. If you guys aren't familiar with it, I've got nothing to hide. And, you know, I do make a little bit of income over there, but it's, like I said, I streamed for a really long time before I ever made anything over there, and I never set out to make, when I started, I didn't even know you could make money streaming or on YouTube. And it's, I think if you're going to start doing something like this, you have to know that most people won't make anything from doing it. Some of it's a little bit of a luck of a draw, but you have to have decent content too. I don't know why people watch me, just saying. But you also have to understand that for me, I know there's no future in this for me. I know that I'm not going to be 40 years old playing video games and making money on the internet. I know that eventually I'm going to have to move on from doing that, and I'm working on things like that, setting up things for my future. I'd love to go back and get my degree and get certified, or get certified for being a mechanic. I would love to maybe even get certification for maybe gunsmithing. I'm a huge, you know, gun advocate. I love tinkering with mine. You know, when I go to the bathroom, if I forget my phone, I break that down and I clean it while I'm dropping deuce. I just, you know, those are some of the interests, and I've started building towards things like that because I know eventually this isn't going to work out for me. I have no future in this, but I know that a lot of people, they can make a future out of this, and they can entertain people, and they can turn this into an entertainment business, or, you know, move it into something else that has something to do with entertainment or with computers or in gaming, you know, design, development, stuff like that. So there's nothing wrong with it, man. If you enjoy it, and I'm not saying Swifty Fence is saying that there's anything wrong with it, but my family supports me because I enjoy it, and I think that's the way it should be for everybody. And if somebody doesn't support you, and if they look down on you for what you do, you just tell them to kiss your ass. But I think that's all the questions, guys. I'm tired of sitting still. I want to go drive my truck. It got really cloudy and rainy. But maybe I'll do another one of these in the future. We didn't get a ton of... I probably should have made it more clear that I wanted to do a Q&A, because most of the comments on here were actually about the video, about Black Ops 3. But maybe I'll do another one after Black Ops 3 comes out, and I'll try and get another truck vlog out soon. If you guys want a topic for future truck vlogs, go ahead and put them down in the comments section. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. Maybe I'll just answer them down in the comments section. Guys, thank you very much for the support. As always, I'm out of here. Later.